welcome to On the Line Tennis Podcast. Today we are going through the Australian Open draw. We're going to have some picks, pretty quick fire stuff, and I'm joined by Vansh Vermani. The purpose of this episode is to just give a pick for every single first round as quickly as we can, with a little bit of elaboration where it's necessary. Vansh, sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, first one, of course, we're going to have to talk about this a little bit, right? It's probably the biggest first round, I think, of any of the draws, is Nadal Draper. Obviously, Jack Draper coming up on the British side has looked very, very good. You know, he's plenty of top 20 wins. He's capable of playing great tennis, massive lefty serve. Gut feeling for me, Vansh, as a lefty, immediately, you know, you get that a little bit neutralized by Nadal. Some of those advantages that you would have had against other players, maybe not so much against Rafa. So for me, it doesn't matter if it goes 4 or 5 sets. Rafa probably wins it. What do you feel, Vansh?
Yeah, I feel similarly. I think he's been playing amazingly well. It's obviously one of the dangerous unseeded players Nadal could have faced, and he's lost 6 of his last 7 matches. But I still think best of 5, physical advantage. Potentially in the heat. I'm not sure how Draper will deal with that. So I think the longer the match goes, advantage Nadal for me, and I'm also sticking with it. Nadal in 4 or 5.
Okay, Nadal it is. Easy first one there. Nakashima, McDonald, Vansh. Got to go with a home boy, right?
I'm gonna go with Nakashima. Yeah, he's a slight favorite in this one.
Yeah, Nakashima for me as well. Backhand kind of get neutralized there. McDonald's strength goes into Nakashima's strength. Nakashima for me. Munar Sverchina qualifier.
I'll go with Munar.
Munar, yep. Emer Nishioka.
This is gonna be like a 4 or 5 hour battle. I mean, these two are just gonna slog it out there in the heat. But I'll go with Nishioka. He's shown me a little higher level.
Yep, no disagreement so far. Nishioka for me too. Kachanov, Zapata Morales.
Kachanov.
Yeah, too fast court for me for Zapata Morales to have a chance. Kubler Baez.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. I think it could go pretty close. I'm leaning Kubler right now. I just think he's in better form. Baez lost 16 of his last 17 matches, something like that. So
yep, same for me. Otta Shang.
This is good because Shang has just come through qualies and he's one to watch out for. But I'm also go with Ote. I'm not ready to make that pick yet.
Yeah, Damien had plenty to say about Shang, showered him with praise, but I agree. Otta in 5 maybe, but Otta for me. Altmaier, Tiafoe.
Tiafoe.
Section 2 of the men's draw. Straight into Hurkacz Martinez. Do you sense vulnerability in Hurkacz?
I do, but probably this wouldn't be the round. I'll go with Hubie.
Borges Sonego.
Sonego.
Yep, same. Okay, Escobedo Daniel.
Interesting. Daniel's played well in Australia, actually. Escobedo's good run by him in qualies. I'll go with Daniel.
Okay, first disagreement. So Damien had a lot to say about Escobedo. I'm going to go with his gut. He said basically forehand had improved tenfold, movement tenfold. Daniel just a little bit lackluster the last few months, right? Obviously had the win against Andy, but that's a raise from my memory. Escobedo for me, for sure. Lajovic, Shapovalov.
I'll go with Chapo.
Yeah, I mean, Shapo's maybe a bit vulnerable, but not Lajovic for me. Korda Garin.
Korda.
Yeah, easy. Watanuki Rinderknech.
I'll go Rinderknech.
Again, I've been talking to Damien quite a bit, so I'm going to give it to Watanuki. But this is the first time he's had a big result outside of Japan. Maybe it's just his moment for me, basically. And Rinderknech is a beatable opponent, right? He's a great player, but he's a beatable opponent. So Millman Husler?
I'll go with Husler.
Yeah, same. I just felt... Actually, Millman had a fairly good win the other day, right, in Adelaide. But I just feel Husler's on fast courts. Why not? Medvedev, you know?
Yeah, I'll go with Medvedev. Yeah. But that's not the easiest of the first rounds, for sure.
No, not at all. Might actually stand in his stead. We need something to sort of put him into form, right? I would say. He's vulnerable, but not, definitely not. Section 3, Halys Tsitsipas.
Very interested to watch this match. I think this could be a dangerous banana peel type of match for Steph. Yeah. But I also back the experience and best of 5, I'll say Steph.
I've got Tsitsipas in the semis all the way for me. Halys is an amazing first round in some ways because he is a tough opponent. Tsitsipas either falls on his sword there or he comes through that and he's stronger for it for me, and he could come through that 16th of the draw fairly comfortably if he wins. Hanfman Hijikata.
I'll go with Hanfman.
Yeah, same. Griekspoor Kotov.
I'll go Griekspoor.
Okay, yep. Likewise. Van de Zandschulp Ivashka.
Hmm. If this was like, some point last year, maybe the US Open, something like that, I
Yeah.
might have picked Ivashka, but I'll go with Botic. Sometimes Ivashka's second serve can let him down.
Yeah, I agree. Ivashka just not enough noteworthy results. That was an amazing loss to Sinner, I guess, at the US Open. He played a great match. But yeah, Van de Zandschulp for me, way too polished nowadays. Musetti Harris.
I'll go with Musetti, but Harris can be dangerous, but I don't think he has enough match play yet to.
I
Uh,
agree. I agree. But Harris in full form, I probably would have picked him, to be honest. Musetti's obviously got better at his
yeah.
hard court game, but way too quick for that big a serve. I don't know. It seems like a vulnerability to me. But I'll pick Musetti. Korea Fusovic.
Tricky. I know Fuchsovic is declining a bit to me. Korea is obviously I don't know if he has quite enough firepower though. I'll stick with Fuchsovic one last time.
Yeah,
Sneaky
by a whisker for me as
by a
well,
whisker.
Vanch. He's kind of got a swan song coming up, I feel.
Yeah.
Echeverry Barrera.
Hmm. Etcheverry has had some good results last year, and he's definitely a little better suited. I mean, they're both evenly matched. I'll go with Etcheverry. Why not?
Okay, I'll probably go with Barrera. Kyle and Yannick Sinner.
That's an interesting match. 2018 semifinalist at Melbourne, but I will stick with Sinner.
Yeah, Kyle's just way too early days, and actually got pumped by Sinner quite recently. It was like 2-3, but he barely won a return point. So, yeah, Sinner. Section 4, flying through, Nori Van Ash.
I'll go with Nori. Yeah.
Van Ash a bit too young for me, so Nori. For me, Montero Lestien.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a little. It's definitely a little tight. I think the French player has an awkward game to play against, and he places the ball well. He can maneuver. Even that match against Novak, even though it wasn't, it was fairly straightforward the score, but I think he can actually trouble top players for a little bit. So I'll go with Listien.
Yeah, I'm going Lestien as well. Eubanks Kwon, interesting one.
Yeah, it's a very interesting one because Kwon just won the title over RBA, but
Mm.
and Eubanks wild card and been playing well in challengers, but I just think Kwon, hits the ball so flat and so hard and low. His forehand has definitely picked up, quite a bit since last year. So I'll go with Kwon.
Yeah, Damien pointed out that Eubanks' height actually might be a disadvantage in this matchup, just given the flatness
Yeah.
of Kwon's ball. So yeah, I'll stick with Kwon as well, I think. Chorich Lehechka.
Actually, this one,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Do you want to stick your neck out, Vanch?
I think George is disappointed sometimes in majors, and sometimes he can
He
have
has.
letdowns after some big results, and he hasn't done very well in Australia. So I think I'll go with Lehechka for the upset.
Hey, like it. First big upset, I would say, Vanch. I'll stick with Chorich, but I think, yeah, Chorich maybe doesn't go as far as people think he will.
Yeah.
Surundalo Paya.
Cerundolo.
Yeah, only because Pere's on a comeback for me. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Surundalo loses in the next round, to be honest. He's looking very, very vulnerable at the moment. Mute Wu.
Yeah, Wu has impressed me. He takes the ball really early, and he's had a resurgence, and done third round of the U.S. Open, I believe, played Medvedev. So I
Mm-hmm.
think yeah, Mute can be a little up and down, volatile. I'll go with Wu.
I'm going with Wu as well. Yeah, I like that choice. Stan and Molchan.
Stan has struggled recently against lefties. The likes of Hugo Gaston, Corentin Moutet, he lost to twice last year in majors.
Yeah, good point.
But I just think Stan, he's playing a little better right now. This could be his swan song moment as well with Magnus Norman, and he can get through this match, especially if he's healthy. That has to be the key thing. But I'll
Yeah,
I'll go with Stan. I'll go with Stan.
it's just fitness, really, because honestly, he
Yeah.
still steps it up for slams. You can tell with some of the matches he plays. So yeah, I'll stand as well there.
Yeah.
Pospisil Auger-Aliassime.
Yeah, I sense this being a little bit tricky for Felix. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes down a set. Maybe it's a five-setter. Tricky opponents, tricky opponent because Pospisil, and I think the last time they played Pospisil actually won, but that was in 2020 indoors. I'll go with Felix. I'm not ready to pick it.
Right, interesting. I'll go with Felix as well there. Bottom half now, straight into a very interesting matchup between Rublev and Team. What do you think?
It's interesting, but I think team still lacking that little bit of still lacking that confidence. I mean, his Adelaide, he only has one match played so far this year, and Rublev in general, I think even when team has played well, has been able to take the ball extremely early off both wings and just rush team and take a lot of time away. Especially, I think he's just a really uncomfortable player in general for team on faster courts, and these courts are pretty quick. So I think Rublev gets it done.
Likewise, but I do feel an upset coming third round, maybe against Dan for Rublev. Max Purcell, Emil Ruusuvuori is an interesting one. What do you think, Vanch?
Yeah, very interesting. Ruusuvuori is like one of those. It's like it's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen, and then, I think maybe this time because he's playing an Aussie, Purcell can be a little tricky. I think I'll go with the qualifier.
He's a great player. The only thing that's making me sway in Rusevori's favour is that he's actually a much better returner than people sort of give him credit for. I think
Uh-huh.
that could stand in his stead. Given Purcell's a great server, and obviously you need to do a bit more against him when he comes into the net. So I'll go Rusevori, but it's got sort of 5 sets written all over it, I think, for sure. Vanch. Galan Shardy.
Oh, Shardy playing after quite a bit of time off, and he's had some results here. He's made a quarterfinal in the past, but he's yeah. I just don't know what he's going to look. And Galan has an amazing forehand and on fast hard court. So actually, I'll go with Galan.
Yeah, always difficult to back the protected ranking, right? I'm going with Galan as well. It just feels a little bit too risky for me. Magnus Evans.
Yeah, that's a Dan win right there.
That's a big Evans win for me, yeah, for sure. Kyrgios Sefilin.
Curious, although there are some question marks about him in this tournament, but the Netflix distractions and the
Yeah,
and the expectations, obviously.
that's true. It's very true. And yes, Sefilin, great player, obviously, but that's the kind of player Kyrgios can make look kind of basic. Gasky Humbert.
Yeah, I mean Gasquet obviously winning a title for the first time in 5 years, but Humbert is tricky. But even last year when they played, Gasquet got the better of him, and he's actually he's riding that high at the moment. So I'll stick with it. Humbert, I just don't know quite what to expect. He's a little too up and down for me. Gasquet has all the experience, so I'll stick with
Yeah.
Gasquet.
I want the Humbert Kyrgios 5 set epic that we normally get, but
Yeah,
I think it'll be Gasky as well. Cressy, ARV, Ramos Vinolas.
yeah. I could see this actually being somewhat 50-50, but fast hardcore. He's had success here last year. Defending that second weak points. I'll go with Cressy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Ramos Vinolas actually.
Okay.
It's always hard to back a sort of clay court specialist, Spaniard on a hard court like this, right? But Cressy just looks a bit vulnerable. I'll go for ARV there, I think. Rune Krajinovic.
It has to be Rune for me, but it's not the easiest of the first rounds
Yeah, tough
for
first round.
sure.
But yeah, I agree. Right, section 6, Carreno Busta and Kachin.
I'll go with PCB.
Yeah, but that's actually
Yeah.
because Kachin's also pretty much a wall, that could end up being quite difficult. But yeah, I'll go for PCB
Great.
there too. Bellucci Bonzi.
I'll go with Bonzi. I like the way he was playing in India.
Yeah, I think I'll go Bonzi as well. Bellucci, very interesting though, according to Damien. A lot of variety and very interesting game. Said it might not translate so well to the ATP though. Isner Manarino?
Is there a lot of stop and start and Manarino tricky game with the lefty angles. I think he can just move John around. I think he can hold his own from the baseline. I'll go with Manarino.
I'll go Manarino.
Yeah.
Sue Diminor?
I'll go with Divinor.
Yeah, easy pick. Dimitrov Karatsev?
Interesting one, but I think Dimitrov just a little bit more bread and butter tennis. So I'll go with him.
Yeah, Karatsev still just a little bit flaky for me. It's got to be Dimitrov, I think. Berg
Very interesting. I'm tempted to go for the qualifier just because.
mhm.
Yeah, I was impressed with him in qualies. I don't think the form that we saw in the United Cup was indicative of his base level at all. I think he was struggling. I think he had an illness or something like that. Jerry can easily win this, but I have to have some upset, so I'll go with Bergs.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I'm going to go Bergs. Just that last qualifying win enough to cement it for me. Kurkod and Delian.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kuokot. Like I've been impressed. 3 slams in a row he's qualified, and he almost beat George in the first round of the U.S. Open. I saw some bits and bobs of that match. So Delian is a clay quarter through and through. So
Serve of probably one of the weakest serves in the top 200, at least. Kurkod for me. Djokovic, Carballes, Bena.
yeah, Djokovic probably the easiest pick so far. But Carballes Bayana, that's a good like first round for Novak to like just get in rhythm. It's like just no weapons whatsoever to hurt Novak early.
Yeah, exactly. I have a few balls to sort of warm up rather than a big Isner sort of thing, giving him nothing basically from the baseline. Fritz Basilashvili.
Fritz.
Yeah. Seng Popkin.
Rematch of last year, first round of Australian Open, but I don't think Sang has the weapons and quite yet. So I'll go with Popperin.
Probably agree. Vanch Popkin there, but it'll be tough for sure. Seng's a massive competitor, very very good. Shelton Zeng.
Interesting match, but I'll ride the Shelton bandwagon. I'll go with him.
Likewise, yep. Shelton for sure. Jari Kecmanovic.
Yeah, I'll still stick with Kecmanovic, even though Jari was impressive in qualies, beat Emilio Nava in the final round.
Yeah, still not enough from the baseline for me to beat Kecmanovic. I don't think he might not need it, obviously, the way he serves, but who knows? We'll see. I'll go Keckers. That's John Millman's name for him, by the way. I love it. Keckers, so good. Schwarzman Krutik.
I'll go with Diego, although he's also with some injury question marks at the moment and can't string many match wins in a row. But yeah, I'll go with Diego.
Likewise, you don't see the upset happening, really, do you? But could it?
Mm.
Obviously, we don't know how bad that injury is, so we'll have to see. But yeah, picking Schwartzman there too. JJ Wolf Thompson.
I could see this being a five-setter, and definitely the Aussie will get the crowd support, but I think Wolf is on the up. I liked what I saw from him last year, so I'll go with Wolf.
I would, but I agree. I think the crowd's a big factor, and I feel
Mhm.
like in the back of my head, Jordan Thompson's had a history of like pulling out really big first round wins at the Australian Open and then going down in the second. So I'll stick with
Mhm.
Jordan Thompson there. I think, although quite
Yeah,
a
fair
tough one.
enough.
Goffin Locali.
I'll go with Gofan,
Yeah,
but Locally could be tricky a little bit, but I'm not
he's
sure.
Goffin's still playing quality tennis though, so got to be Goffin for
Yeah.
me. Varias Zverev.
Friendly match for Zverev and his comeback. Varias, I remember he's the guy that took the first two sets off of Felix in the first round of.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
wow. But then the rest was just like all Felix, to be fair.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I'm not ready. Even Zverev in this form can take him down.
He's yet to get. I think he got his first top 200 win on a hard court in qualifying.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah,
So
so Zverev, Berrettini, Andy.
another tough one for Andy. I mean, I'll pick Berrettini, but it's definitely going to be 4 or 5 sets. So I'll pick Mateo.
Um, I'm
Are you ready? Are you gonna go
gonna.
for it? I can tell you
No, no.
hesitating.
I'm preparing myself to say Berrettini because I know I'm gonna say
Uh,
Berrettini. I am saying Berrettini. It's just sad,
okay.
obviously, but I
Yeah,
can't.
I know. I feel you.
I've got to go with my brain, and that makes me really sad, man. Yeah, I'll go for Berrettini though. Christ, Kokonakis Fanini.
Oh, there's gonna be some fireworks in that one. It's a good first round, but I'll stick with the Aussie, Tanasi.
Kokonakis there definitely for me too. Vukic Holt.
It's tricky. I'll go with Vukic. I'll go with him.
Yeah, I'll go with Vukic as well. He looks like a top 100 player for me. Definitely,
Yeah.
he's got enough weapons. Sousa Batista Agut.
Batista,
Yeah,
but not the easiest of. I mean, not the easiest because Souza, he can play good tennis. He won an ATP title last year, and can push some players. But yeah, RBA is super steady. So
yeah. I think an easy pick for me to be honest. Sousa's good, but Batista Agut is great. Davidovich Fekina Bublik.
oh, such a fun match to watch. I'll go with ADF.
I'll go with Bublik. I think although Bublik has been a little bit up and down, but
Yeah, I worry about the effort sometimes with him.
yeah, of course.
Sustained. But
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah, is
see.
that it's a bit risky. Struff Paul.
Very interesting. I mean, Struff, very dangerous, but just he hasn't like strung it together, and like his comeback hasn't been as quick like as I thought it would be. He skipped the clay season last year, and I thought he would be firmly inside the top 100, having fewer first round losses than he did. Paul, on the other hand, I think he's just a reliable top 35 guy now, so I'll go with Paul.
I'm gonna pick Struff, although
Okay.
honestly it's probably just fan service there. Fans
Uh-huh.
Damien pointed out that he's won one of his 9 matches in Australia,
Wow. Okay.
which is
Yeah.
insane. So I'll go Struff, but yeah, obviously not with a ton of confidence. O'Connell Brooksby.
This is a rematch of their San Diego quarterfinal match, and Brooksby had 2 match points, didn't take it. And O'Connell, but I just think, yeah, Brooksby in best of five, he's made a second week before, and he had a good week this week. He's an awkward player to play against, and he's playing better than he was in San Diego. So I'll go with Brooksby.
Yeah, I'll agree there. Brooksby, I think he did play really well last week. And Ruud Maciek.
Rude, but it's not the easiest of first rounds for sure.
Right, Vanch. Good men's singles there. We got through that super quickly. Straight into the women's singles, if you're happy to. Starting off with Iga Swiatek and Niemier.
Yeah, very interesting first round, but Neimer not playing as well as he was at the U.S. Open. Obviously, one of the most dangerous unseeded players. Big hitter, fast court, Swiatek forehand. You look out for that, but Iga, yeah, I still back Iga for sure.
Yep, I agree. But very, very tough first round on a fast court. Somebody that can just sort of knock the racket out of your hands if you're feeling a bit dodgy. So very tough for Swiatek as a first round. Sorry, Udvardy.
I'm picking Osorio, but it's going to be an interesting watch because we don't have a whole lot of women's singles pairs from India, so this will be a good opportunity for her in the main draw.
I have little confidence in Osorio on a hard court. I'm sorry, so I'm gonna pick Udvardy as harsh as it is until I see it something else from
Oh, wow.
Osorio. Yeah, I'll stick with Udvardy. I think. Books at Elise.
I'll go with Buxa.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go with Elise. Have you seen Elise play before, Vanch?
Not a whole lot, maybe once or twice.
She has got
Oh, okay.
some set of shots, huge shots. So I'm gonna go for Liz. Andreska Buzkova.
They've had some battles before these. They've had three setters and Buxova has won one before, but yeah, it's a tricky first round. But I think BB's starting to get her form back and build up her ranking, and so I'll pick her in three sets, but it's not an easy match. Could go either
Okay.
way.
Yeah, no, I think I agree. I'll go for Andreska Whisker. Very tough first round. Rybakina Cocciaretto.
Gotta go with Rubikina. More weapons.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Cocciaretto. So from
Just
choosing
make
Rybakina as the Wimbledon champ to in the first round, it's audacious. But yeah, I fancy Cocciaretto's game, and obviously it'll be close. But why not? Cocciaretto's playing well enough. Rybakina's looking a little bit dodgy. So Ivan Janicevic. Sorry, I've not seen that
yeah,
name before.
I've not seen Yanishevic play before at all, so I'll go with you one. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to go Ivan there as well for the same reason. Muka Vasyurenko.
I'll go with Mokova. I think this is a very winnable first round for her. Yeah.
Yeah, former top 20 or top 30 player even for Shurenko. There's something there, obviously, that, hasn't quite come back since she dropped sort of outside the top 100, but she's maybe capable of playing really good tennis. And yeah, I think Mukova's looking a little dodgy. I might actually pick Shurenko there. Klinskaya, Collins.
I'll go with Collins.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
yeah.
likewise. Pigosi McNally.
Yeah, interesting. This was supposed to be Badosa, but I'll go with until she pulled out,
Of
unfortunately.
course,
But
yeah, of course.
I'll go with McNally. I like the way she's been playing.
Yeah, likewise, I think. For me, Rakimova, Bangdell.
I'll go for Bendel. Why not?
I'm going for Bangdale as well. Ditto. Bondar Bogdan,
I'll go with Bogdan.
Ostapenko Yastremska.
Fire on fire right there. I'll go
Mm-hmm.
with uh, I'll go with Ostapenko though.
Could go either way though, couldn't it? Yeah, I'll say Ostapenko, but she's going out at some point for sure. Ostapenko's been so ropey, 7 matches in a row. Surely not. Zheng Galfi,
I feel confident in Zhang to live up to her seating at least, so I'll go with
same,
her.
same. And if I've not said it enough times on the channel, I'm a big Zheng fan. I think she's going far again. Maybe
Yep.
not golf to be fair, but it's possible. Pera Uchijima.
I'll go with Pera. She hasn't quite had the results that I thought she would after 2021, 2020, but yeah, I still think she has a high enough floor, so she'll get there.
Yeah, she does look different on a hard court. Definitely, again, take time away from her, and she can look a little bit flabbergasted. So
I know that.
ropey for me as well, Vanch. But yeah, I'll pick Pera for the first round at least. Radicana Korpatch.
Yep. Interesting first round. I think they played each other already in Stuttgart last year. Emma won it in three sets, and I like the way she's been talking and feeling. And she had a good training block season. And just unfortunate injury that happened to her middle of the match in those conditions. I'll stick with Emma. I think she's playing good enough. She wins.
Yeah, I agree. I've been following Todd Schooler on Twitter, and all of his updates have been confident enough for me to pick her for the first round, but probably loses in the next round. I'm picking Goff against Nukova. Do you see any
I am
vulnerability
picking
there?
Goff, but I do think that could be really tricky. I think Siniakova is not someone you want to face in the early rounds. She's proven to cause upsets in the past, especially in Masters events and even a couple of slams. She's beaten Goff already at the Billie Jean King Cup last year. I mean, obviously that was a different Goff at that point in the year, super fatigued and whatnot. But I'll pick Goff, but not an easy first round.
Not an easy first round as well. I agree. I watched that match actually live. Goff just flagging the whole time. So yeah, not the usual Goff, and she looks a lot better this year. So confident pick for me. Pegula Christian,
Has to be Pagula.
and FYI on Tennis Live, I've got Pegula down to win the whole thing.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think she's been playing insanely good. Obviously, the Swiatek win, a lot to do with Swiatek there as well, but Pegula was great. She was so good, and she's pretty much guaranteed to make the quarters at least, right? And at that point, it's anybody's game. So why not Pegula? The way she's playing. Fruhvirtova, Sasnovich, Brenda Fruhvirtova, by the way, sorry.
Yeah,
Sasnovich.
Brenda's super impressive in qualifying. The amount of leads that her opponents had, she came back from a lot. Very impressive for a 15-year-old. Obviously, I'm high on her in general. But Sasnovich, very tricky first round. I'm not sure if Brenda's quite ready for it. So I'll be conservative. I'll go with Sasnovich.
Yeah, same. Not picking the upset there.
Yeah.
Alina
Mm.
Kudermetova, Gadecki.
Yeah, very interesting match. Gudeki's being mentored by Ash Barty, by the way, in this tournament. So I'll
All
go.
that, yeah.
Yeah, and Aussie crowd, Kudermetova getting to qualies. Not quite so sure. I'll go with Gudecki.
Yeah, I'm feeling the Barty factor there too, Vance. I think I'll go Gadecki. Kostyuk, Anisimova.
Oh, this is a tough first round for Amanda because Kostyuk loves these conditions. She plays really well here. Gets to third rounds and fourth rounds. But yeah, and Samova's a little up and down like right now with her fitness, and
Mm-hmm.
I could see this being tricky. I'll actually go for the upset. I'll go for Kostyuk, even though I know Anisimova is a favorite.
I'll stick with Anisimova, but it's very close.
Okay,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah,
Kostyuk, just not enough confidence for me.
yeah.
Krejcikova, Bezlik.
Krejcikova, but Bejlik is the one that upset Parks. So this could have been Parks right there. If she'd come through in that match against Bejlik in the second round of qualies, made too many unforced errors there. But
I saw that stat sheet. It was overwhelmingly in the unforced error
yeah,
count for
35
Parks,
winners,
wasn't it?
70 unforced. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's tough to win a match like that. But I'll go with I'll still go with Krejcikova. Why
Yeah,
not?
same. Gibson, Burrell,
I'll go with Burrell. I haven't seen like Gibson play that much. She's a
same.
wild card, but yeah, I'll go with Burrell.
Enough firepower in our game, so enough for me to pick her. Van de Beek, Kalinina.
Yeah, tricky because Van de Wey obviously has great results here. Semifinalist former.
Of course, yeah.
Kalinina, yeah, very tricky. But am I gonna go for it? No, I'll go with Kalinina. I
Yeah.
have more faith in her right
Yeah,
now.
I like Kalinina's game. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Open stance backhand and stuff, really good stuff. So
Yes.
yeah. I'll go Kalinina. Van Uytvanck, Kvitova.
I'll ride the Kvitova train for now. She's playing a more consistent level right now. I'll go with her.
She'll
Too
get through
many
her first
rounds.
2 rounds for me, Vance. But yeah,
Yeah.
Kvitova's winning that first round for sure. Section 4, Keys Blinkova.
Keys plays super well here and confident right now.
Yeah, I agree though that first round isn't actually that easy. Blinkova
Yeah.
quite a similar game to Keys in some ways, big
Yeah.
hitter. So Zine Wang and Storm Hunter, formerly Storm Sanders.
Yeah, Sanders, yeah, great doubles player, like has had some success, Billie Jean King Cup and whatnot, but yeah, I'll go with Xenu.
Yeah, same. I want to pick Hunter Sanders after seeing her
Yeah.
at the Billie Jean King Cup, but there's just no evidence that she replicates that form outside of a sort of playing for
Mhm.
her country setting. So Jean and Podoroska.
What a fun name to say, Jean-Jean, right? I'll go with yeah, Podoroska. Like man, I haven't seen the results, and obviously she has a protected ranking coming back from injury. I'll go with Jean-Jean.
Same. Yeah. Podoroska, too much clay pedigree, right, for us to feel too confident on her in a hard court, especially for protected ranking. So 2 Slam champions, 2 Australian Open champions, sorry, I should say. Kenin is
Yeah.
Azarenka.
They played in Rome. Azarenka won 6-0, 6-0 in 2020, and then Kenin ended up making the Roland Garros final. And she has been playing well. She has been playing better, but it's a really tough first round for her because strung together a few good match wins. She's playing really well. This is exactly the kind of match that she gets up for. So I'm tempted to pick Kenin, but I'm not confident in it. I'll go with Azarenka.
I'm sticking with Vika. I think,
Yeah.
just one good tournament out of last 20 played isn't enough for me to feel
Right.
entirely confident picking her. So Teichmann Dart,
Teichmann is like one of those who like a lot of early first round losses, but can also make 2 or 3 deep runs every year. So she's manages to get herself seeded. But I like the way Harriet Dart's been playing. I really do. Like she's
same,
carried it over. She's improved a lot. Her fitness is good right now. I'll go with Dart.
same, love it. Yeah, I'm going with Dart too. After seeing her at the Billie Jean King Cup, she was fantastic. Zoo Marino,
I'll go with Marino.
yeah,
She has been.
big enough game for me. I agree. Kucheva Schneider,
I haven't seen Schneider play. I know Kucheva is very tricky, 2 hands on both sides. Maybe this is exactly the kind of match where she'll get a good first round win. I'll go with Kucheva. Why not?
yeah, likewise, but I'm not informed in too much there, Vanch
Yeah.
either. Sakari Joanne.
Sakari.
How far does Sakari go, though, I suppose? But yeah, Sakari for the first round for me. But do you sense her getting through this 16th?
I can sense her getting to the round of 16. It's that Keys or Azarenka match. That
Yeah, I've got her falling to Keys there. Vansh.
I have her falling to Keys as well. I have Keys getting to the quarters. I have her losing to Pegula though. But
Yeah, same. You might have a similar draw to me, Vansh. We'll see. Kasatkina Gracheva in the bottom half.
Kazakina. Although,
Mm-hmm.
she is prone to like a few
Mm-hmm.
early round losses after going deep the week before. That's the thing that worries me a little bit. But Kazakina also like steady, reliable. That dart match was a tight resetter at the U.S. Open. I don't know if
Yeah.
Gracheva has like dart has weapons, but I don't know. CT is steady, but Kazakina is a master of steadiness right now, so I'll go with her.
Yeah, I'll pick Kasatkina too, but I don't have her going particularly far. I thought
Yeah,
somebody
me
with
too.
the game would beat her. Stefanini Maria.
I'll go with Maria.
Yeah, I think Maria too. She kind of tends to unpick most players outside of the top 50 at the moment. So yeah,
Yeah.
Maria. Cirstea Putintseva.
Kirstea plays well here. She made the fourth round last year, pushed Iga. Putintseva is volatile sometimes and loses her temper quite a bit. Does have steady results, but not good enough to get herself seeded. So I'll go with Kirstea.
Yeah, I'm
Go with
feeling
her.
that too. I think Zee Wong Pliskova.
This is a tricky one. Lefty, she beat Sakari at the U.S. Open. She had a very good tournament there. She's been building since then. I think she's, the better of the two sisters, I would say, if I were like projecting, in terms of career success, just with the lefty game. And yeah, Pliskova is a bit dodgy right now. I think she'll find her form later in the year, but I'll go for the upset.
It's interesting match. I'm going to keep Pliskova in it for now, but yeah, I agree. There's a lot of upset ability in that match, so you're
Yeah.
probably quite wise to pick it. Zhang or Zhang, I guess. Tig.
Yeah, I'll go with Zhang.
Yeah, likewise. Martic Gojvic.
Very interesting first round. I'll go with I'll go with Martic. Like she can be
Yeah,
so tricky with that slice.
I was very impressed at the United Cup. I'm going to go for Martic. Volinets, Rudina.
Feeling Volinets, although Rodina has some big weapons, almost took out Tomljanovic at the U.S. Open before the Serena match.
I was
And
thinking that too.
but yeah, I don't know where she's quite at. Like I haven't seen enough of her to be sure. I think Volinets has some more consistent match rhythm and play right now, so I'll stick with her.
I feel like the loss to Venus Williams has made me
Yeah,
come.
that's made me kind of doubt it as well. Like that's valid.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Rodina there. Zanevska Kudermetova.
Kudermetova. This is a very good draw for Kudermetova. Like
It is. It's so good,
really good,
Vanch. It's
really good.
so good that my projected final is Pegula defeating Veronica Kudermetova.
Wow. Okay, you have her in the final. I do not have that. I think I have her getting to the quarters.
Yeah, but I lost to Garcia maybe.
Yeah.
No, I'm sticking with it. Contifate Grabber.
Cultivate, although watch out for Lynette and some other players in that section. Not so confident in Cultivate living up to her
No,
seeding, even with this draw.
neither am I. Maybe a third round loss possibly. Sharif Lynette.
Going with Lynette. But Sharif can also win.
Yeah, it's about 50-50, but I'll go Lynette as well. Townsend Parry.
Yeah, very interesting first round with the one-handed backhand serving, volleying. I think the extra doubles play and getting to that major. I think it's Townsend is just really really motivated right now. I think she's out there to prove a point. So I'll go with Townsend.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean Parry. I know Parry's
Okay.
obviously
Yeah, it's a very 50-50.
obviously people put Parry down as clay court through and through, but I also think her game belongs in the top 100 for me, and it can translate fairly well to hard courts against lesser
Yeah.
players. Parry for me, I think. Bonaventure Alexandrova. Now this is the one for me that's the first round upset for Ali. That's why I've not got
Oh,
her in the third round. I'm going to put Bonaventure through.
yeah. I'm not too sure. I think Alexandrova is like been a little up and down recently. Bonaventure is like not the easiest first round, but Alexandrova does have some non-negotiable weapons, and when she's striking, particularly that backhand line really well, and she's in the zone and moving and just reading the plays, I like her, so I'll go with her.
I agree. She is a great player, to be fair, but I'm been very impressed with Bonaventure's form. Just the fact she's won like 3 or 4 matches in her last 4 tournaments or something. Massive lefty game. Yeah, it's a pretty audacious pick, Vanch. I'll agree, but I'll stick with it. Begu Zheng.
I'm going with Begu. I like the way
Ye-
she's been playing.
Yeah, agreed. Again, the protected ranking just putting me off. I might have swayed the other way if Zheng was in full health, but I'll go for Begu too. Bronzetti Siegmund.
I like the way Bronzetti was playing in United Cup. I'll go with her.
Fernandez Cornet.
Cornet has been upset queen at these majors all throughout last year. Like Layla, I really want to pick her, but like her lost. Who did she lose to? Was it Bonaventure?
It was actually, it's
Yeah,
4-2, I think.
yeah, it was Bonaventure. I did not expect that. So, you know, perhaps this isn't Yeah, and then she lost early at this tournament last year as well. I wonder how she's going to do in the heat as well. Like I just have some question marks. I really want to see a really good run from Fernandez, but I'm tempted to go with Cornet. And also
I
watch out if Cornet plays Garcia
I know,
because
yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
that is 50-50 right there.
Such a tough unseeded opponent. It's such a shame for a lot of them. But honestly, I think the favourite's Corny. Yeah, I don't even think it would be an upset for her to beat Fernandez.
Yeah, that's right. I think she is even like they're in a similar boat of ranking. So
Yeah,
I'll go with Cornet.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm leaning Corny as well. Sebo Garcia.
picking Garcia.
Yeah, of course. Section 7, Sabalenka, Martin Shova.
Picking Sabalenka. I'm going big on Sabalenka this one.
Yeah, see, I was
Um,
close. I was close, Vanch. I was very close to going big Sabalenka. I think I've got her getting knocked out to Samsonova in the quarters. Still going big in
oh,
Samsonova.
you won't believe who I have in that section actually.
Have you went with Samsonova again, or?
I have a sneaky eye on Donna Vekic in this tournament. I
Oh,
think she can do some big things.
I wasn't expecting that.
I
Oh,
watched her play in San Diego, and I also know that she's being helped a lot by Pam Shriver.
yeah,
And I don't think Pam would waste her time with someone who she didn't think, belonged in the top 20 at least. So,
interesting. All right. Anyway, go back to Hartono Rogers.
yeah, I'll go with Rogers.
Yeah, same. Davis Kovanic.
Yeah, it's tricky actually because Davis, yeah, just coming off of this win here, but I like the way Davis plays in Australia, particularly. She has some very good memories here. That match against Halep sticks out obviously in 2018, but she's just steady right now, so I'll go with her.
Kovanic can be a little prone to nerves. Sometimes, for me,
Yeah,
Davis is one of the worst players you could play if you're a bit prone to nerves because he'll make you play a million
exactly.
balls.
Yeah,
Yeah. So Davis for me. Muguruza Mertens.
I'm tempted to go with Muguruza. I think
Okay.
yeah, why not? I think yeah, that match against Andrescu, like she's blowing these leads and she her mind is all over the place, but it's just
Mhm.
but when she's on, I think she's too much for Mertens, and I
The
think
ma-
she might be on when 1 or 2 rounds here.
the loss to Kvitova at the US Open. That was an amazing match.
One of the matches of the year, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah, okay, I'll side with you. You swayed me a bit. I'll go for Muguruza. Trevisan Smedlova.
I'm going with Trevisan.
Yeah, same. Pavlyuchenkova for Georgie.
A bit early in the comeback trail for Pavs, so I'll go with Georgie.
Lou Brengel.
Interesting because Brengle makes you play a million balls, and Claire Lou is, struggling a little bit on the tour compared to what I thought her ranking would be at this point. But I'm still backing her. I'll go with Lou.
Same. Just too much in her game for me most of the time. And also, yeah, I think she's got a good rally temperament. I think she should be able to handle Brengel. Timova Bencic.
Going with Benchage, but her Benchage's slam results are something to keep an eye out this year for me because
Yeah.
it's been way too good on the tour to have not made a quarterfinal in the other 3 majors outside of US Open.
Sabalenka Bencic would be a great four friend. We'll see.
I think I have that in my
Yeah, I
bracket.
did. I did. Final section. Hadid Maya Parisas DS.
I like the way Hannah Maya is playing right now. I'll go with her.
Same, although I've said she's getting knocked out in the third round, obviously. Samsonova, you won't be surprised here. Stevens Potapova.
I'm going with Potapova right now. Stephens, yeah. Like, I mean, if Stephens is at her best, probably she wins. But yeah, it's a big question mark right now.
Yeah,
I'll go with Potapova.
I agree. And I'm siding with you as well. I don't need to ask you about Vekic, Miteva. How far have you got Vekic going exactly?
Quarters.
Quarters, right. Okay. Lost
I
to
have her
Sabah.
beating. I have her beating Jabor actually in the. So
Oh, right. Okay. Fair
I can
enough.
see Vondrousova being tricky for Jabor, but I still have her coming through it.
So do I, but I thought Giant Killer Canepi.
I thought so too, but she's seeded this time, and I think the craftiness of Jabor might just be a bit much.
I,
We'll
I
see.
like I like the implication there. You're saying as a seeded player, it's almost like she doesn't go under the radar, I
She
guess.
has
Like,
expectations now,
yeah,
being a
yeah,
seed, like she has to get to that third round.
yeah. I get what you mean. Samsonova, Paolini. I guess you've got enough confidence in that match, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got Samsonova coming through there, no doubt.
Yeah. And then Kanepi Burrell, I guess Kanepi.
Yeah.
Linda Fruvatova, Furless. I don't know anything about Furless.
I've seen her play once or twice, but not enough intel. No, I'll go with Frubertova.
Going for Linda there. Alison Risk, Amritraj, and Vondrousova. Tough one.
Yeah, it is actually quite tricky. Like that is almost 50-50 now that you think about it. I mean, Risk is very steady. She's made the fourth round of the US Open also, and solid top 50 player. So, but Vondrousova just, yeah, the ceiling is higher and the lefty game. It's, yeah. I'll
Yeah.
go with her. She did well here last year as well.
I was high on Vondrousova at Billie Jean King Cup, and quite frankly, I have her getting to the fourth round,
Okay,
beating Jabeur, I think.
I could see it. I could see that. But
Yeah. And then Zidansek, Jabeur, yeah.
yeah, yeah, Jabber.
Yeah, but Jabeur, as I say, the US Open was such a ropey run to the final. She did so well to
Mm.
get through a lot of those tight moments and actually, get through quite a few of them in straight sets in the end. But there was
Yeah.
loads and loads of clutch moments. Can she do it again? It just seems like such a mental toll, and generally because she doesn't have as many options on a hard court, it just always looks like an uphill battle. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't
Yeah, I
see
was
her.
worried for her at the U.S. Open because she had Rogers in that section. She had Kudermetova. She had like Elizabeth Mandlik in the second round. Like had some chances against her. Like it was a bit ropey in the beginning. And
Mhm.
then this year, I'm a little bit concerned about her injury. She has her
Yeah,
knee taped, and I think she had a bit of a back problem against Noskova in the semis there. And she didn't play this tournament last year, which is good for her in terms of ranking and points, and she can gain a lot and lessen that gap between her and Iga. But I don't know, maybe she also has too much pressure and expectations on herself. I wonder how she balances it out. Not the easiest draw at all.
a quick winners pick. If for I could get one, I guess for the men's it's Novak, but it might not be. I mean, who have you got down?
I still got Novak. I know he has that like left hamstring injury, but he's been managing it so far. I just think he manages it so well. Best of 5 day off. Like I just don't see him. I don't see anyone beating him. He's a heavier favorite for sure than Iga is on the women's side. No
Uh,
question.
yeah, absolutely, I agree. And yeah, I don't have Iga down. I've got Pegula down. I think Pegula is playing better tennis on a fast hard court than Iga. And
Interesting.
generally, she's just such a safe pick for the first few rounds. So
Mhm.
Pegula.
I like it, but she hasn't gotten past the quarters, and I just wonder if they do play again. Like Swiatek will do her homework. Iga was traveling all the way to Sydney, and Pagula had gotten used to the conditions, and she had just this game plan. I don't think Iga will serve better. I think it'll be Pagula does also have Kvitova and Krejcikova in her section. Like I said, I have her coming through, but if those players are playing their absolute very best, I could see Pagula getting knocked off. So
I don't think Iga can serve better. Honestly, I really don't. I think that is a glaring weakness, and she gets away with it when she's playing her best tennis.
I agree, and she also wasn't as quick on reacting. And I think the bigger part for me in that match is she didn't return nearly as well as she could have. Like on Pegula's second serve, I don't think she was being aggressive enough.
Yeah, and that's
Uh,
obvious. That's obviously a bad day for Iga, and fair
and
enough.
I think for most players, how you get some easy holds and you keep serving and it kind of frees you up on the return game. For
Yeah,
Iga, it might be the opposite. Might be like
yeah,
she's winning a lot. I mean, she breaks half the time. Like
yeah,
it's
exactly. Yeah, you're right. And obviously,
yeah,
you remember the Pegula match she had at the US Open where it was like they
yeah,
traded
breaks
breaks,
galore.
yeah,
Well,
all day
5 breaks
long.
each in the second set and just
Yeah,
one hold, and that was it.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, Pegula's always got that advantage for me, even on a good
Yeah,
day
for sure.
for Iga. But obviously, Iga will step up, and it'll be really tough. But I think Pegula's
Yeah.
honestly, I think Pegula's she's playing incredibly.
I'm going really big. And it's not even really like that big. I think it's due.
Sabalenka's not a
Yeah,
crazy. If
yeah.
it's not a
I,
crazy
I,
choice, I don't think.
I'm going with Sabalenka. I think she is like most people's number two pick, and I do think there is something there when she plays Fiontech. It's not just the WTA finals, but also the U.S. Open match as well. And I just think one of these times it's gonna swing the other direction. The margins are just too small. Like
It's
you
literally
know,
just it's the serve. I mean, when
yeah,
she's serving her best, she's unplayable.
yeah. And there's usually like a 15-20 minute stretch in every match that Sabalenka plays. It's literally on her racket.
Yeah.
It's just about limiting those 15 minutes where she's hitting the back fence. But it's like, yeah, I just think, and she's in a good place mentally right now. Like she doesn't look overwhelmed or stressed. And that title, I put a lot of stock in that because that was her first title in almost 2 years.
Yeah,
She had
yeah.
had a lot of baggage. And if you look back at like last year, she just couldn't get a single serve in. And now biomechanically, like she's worked on herself mentally, her serve, and the rest of the game is just like clicking once that serve works. So
I'm a Sabalenka fan for sure, so I'd like to see it, Vansh.
I got her beating Garcia in the semis and Iga in the final, which is
Right.
crazy. It's not that crazy.
Oh, Iga going down in a slam final is
Yeah,
phew, that's probably the craziest part for me.
yeah,
But
it is. I mean, but she did lose her last final to Krejcikova.
yeah, still, still, that's
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean. Yeah, before that, I think she lost like 40 games
yeah.
in 10 in a row. It was ridiculous.
Right, Vanch, I'll wrap up there. That's two Novaks, a Pegula and a Sabalenka as the winners. And generally we were pretty on par there, I think, for first
Yeah,
round picks. So yeah, always good to get a second opinion that matches mine. Vanch always makes me feel a bit better. Thank you very much for joining me as always. If you're listening, please go follow Vanch at VanchV2K, yeah, on Twitter. You can do the same for me, _Jack. Like and subscribe on YouTube. I'll catch you soon. Thanks very much.
Cheers. Thanks.